Welcome to the Purple People Podcast. I was not aware the intro changed. It sounds like an old Raw intro, man.
It
I
Definitely
love
does.
that.
it is enough to avoid a copyright strike. That's the
It's
plan with
funny.
that one.
It's funny because like I'm a big, I grew up in the post grunge like new metal era, like you did, Kyle. And I was looking today on Instagram somewhere, and 3 Days Grace has a new album, and they welcome back the old singer, and I
Oh,
was like, oh shit. And I listened to it today. It wasn't bad if you like that music. Some of that era when they went like everything in this country. We see something we like. Everybody make your version of this thing right here so we can make a lot of money. I hate it all. They had like 40 bands come out when you and I were in high school.
I
It was
know.
like same song, same subject matter. It's like that bro country movement that happened years later. But I gotta say, they got a good little dynamic, and that intro reminded me of that record today. I listened to it on the way home. I'm fresh out of a haircut. The world, y'all can't tell me shit. I feel like $1 million every time I get a haircut. So, welcome. This is episode 632. We're going to review Conference Championship Weekend. The Super Bowl is set for Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara. Man, what a great two games this weekend. I got to
Good
ask you
week.
guys though.
Good weekend of football.
Oh yeah. Are you guys surviving? We got 3 inches of snow here in Virginia, and I'm telling you, nothing has moved for 3 days. It's just a 2 inch thick sheet of ice, and you would think that the Armageddon has happened here. It's crazy.
That's nothing.
It's wild. They shut
No,
everything down for that crap.
we are past the snow part of it where I am, but it's been 20 below for like a week, and that's gonna continue. I'm not even exaggerating.
Oh yeah, I was
That's
getting the exploding tree warnings, the frost quakes, all that stuff.
Yeah, I had never gotten an exploding tree warning prior to this week. That's a new one. That's a good name for a band for Kyle Smith. Kyle Smith and the Exploding Trees.
Exploding trees. That's my grunge band
Yeah,
name. So what? I've never heard of
could be
that
a
until
could
this
be a
year.
Pearl
Like,
Jam tribute. Can I hear you do a?
yeah, take all the letters in the alphabet and push them together. We don't do spaces here. Yeah,
I
we
hate
can do our best, Eddie Vedder.
hot take for the day. I hate Pearl Jam.
I'll steal one from the Plain White Tees. Hate is a strong word.
Yeah,
I don't know, have you
I
ever heard Bugs by Pearl Jam?
I'd have to listen to it.
Oh, it might be the worst song I've ever heard.
No, you're right.
I'm excited now.
I thought you were going to be like, oh, this is some real deep cut that's really amazing. You got to listen to it. You're like, no, it's
Yeah.
terrible.
No,
It's
it's
bad.
awful.
You're right. I can't use the word hate with Pearl Jam because I do like the song Even Flow. Even Flow is a really good track.
It's hard for me with grunge because you get into the argument with all the edgelord dickheads online. Well, this is not technically a grunge band. Like I love Alice in Chains. I'll tell everyone I know, hey, cool, I'm Kyle. I love Alice in Chains. Like that's
Yeah.
my music personality. I love them. Technically, when you listen to Facelift, you're like, oh, that's a metal album. That's not grunge. Dirt was a grunge album, and then the Dog album was it. But I'm like, they came out at the same time. They lumped them all
You just called
together.
Tripod the Dog album?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you caught me on that one. Thank you very much. Technically, isn't that just the self-titled?
I don't know, I've only ever heard it called Tripod.
It's the Last Lane album, if we're not counting the MTV Unplugged and everything. But yeah,
We have
you lump them.
we have people listening to us who tuned in for Vikings talk, and we're just like, hey, Alice in Chains, everyone. Here's our take on Pearl Jam for the day.
I have a Post Lane Alice in Chains tattoo, if you could believe it. I love them, but yeah, like I've said this about many bands as I get older. The musicianship in Pearl Jam is phenomenal, but Eddie Vedder is not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Much like for me, I love the music from the Smashing Pumpkins. I think Billy Corgan's voice makes me want to jump off a skyscraper. I don't like it. I get it. It's not everybody's cup of tea. You could just say the same thing for Alice in Chains. You're like, I don't know what the hell this is about. Either or.
Pearl Jam people are hard into Pearl Jam, and it's kind of like those Grateful Dead people that follow the Grateful Dead around.
Yeah.
I couldn't name you 2 Grateful Dead songs.
I'll join you, Adam. I have no idea.
I can't
Hey,
name one.
if you
But not
don't know, if you don't know what an early Alice in Chains song is about, just guess heroin, and you're probably pretty close to
Anything on dirt is about heroin.
It's all about heroin, dude.
Outside of Rooster, everything is about heroin. It's so sad. Which
is also the best way to enjoy the Minnesota Vikings quarterback situation.
On heroin.
Yeah, there's a segue for you.
Well, let's talk about it for real. That's a funny transition, but let's talk about it. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that I don't care about the Rams wild card game last year or the last regular season game against Detroit. Minnesota, how fucking dumb do you look now for letting Sam Darnold walk out? I know that they're not the same teams. I understand. But the potential was there, and after having a historically bad quarterback year, how can you not say that was the wrong decision?
Well, Minnesota tried. They offered him money. He chose to go somewhere else. So what can you do?
I know.
They should have offered him.
I mean, the narrative is fun, and being like, "Oh, that was so dumb." It's a fun narrative. It'll get clicks. It'll get people talking, but it's not the way it really went.
I think you can argue that, Adam. I think you could offer the guy more because the wrong thing, and I don't know my ass from my elbow when it comes to drafting people.
So you think Minnesota could have gotten more negative in the salary cap?
Yeah, well, you could have got competent quarterback play, and
salary cap made up
at the expense of what? Like, we're going to save a few dollars so we can have Max Brosmer come in because JJ McCarthy is up one down. Games. Yeah. You could say I get the money argument for sure. There wouldn't have been some signings, but
and it's almost like, okay, well, Sam Darnold had no say in where he went. That's what that argument's saying.
No, I don't agree with that. I think I'm aiming it towards the Vikings being cheapskates and idiots about it. Is you just because you draft somebody doesn't mean you have to keep them. You're not married to them. You're not you don't have to. And after seeing JJ McCarthy this year, how could you not look at last year and be like, fuck him, he can sit on the bench for 2 more years. You offered Sam Darnold a 1-year deal.
And this conversation, we'll keep going on it because it's a good conversation to have. But I think we are all self-aware enough to understand that it's because Darnold played so well and McCarthy played so poorly that we're having this conversation right now. If McCarthy had looked at least half-ass competent, we're much more standing behind the Vikings' decision to do what they did moving forward. This is a lot of this is we're looking at this as a hindsight 2020 kind of thing right now.
It's just hard for me not to believe that the defense played their ass off this year. When Jefferson has his worst year and he's a legit Hall of Famer in the making, I can't help but look at the quarterback and be like, what the fuck are you doing? And then I have to look at the coach and the general manager and be like, this wasn't your only option. You chose to go this way. And I'm wondering, in behind-the-scenes stuff, is why you can't offer Sam Darnold a 2-year deal or a 3-year deal. Same thing with Daniel Jones. Yet they offered him more money. But the things that the quarterbacks mostly, and I can't speak for all of them, is they want longevity and commitment because they don't want to have to keep negotiating every single year, and that's the thing that's the argument that I'm going about. Yeah, of course I'm making the hindsight.
In the same position with the Michael Penix, Kirk Cousins kind of stuff.
Oh God, you know what, Adam? That's such a good point. But as soon as I think we have the worst quarterback situation in the room, I'm like, do I want to pay Kirk $60 million to not play? It could always be worse.
Did you see that the Jets still need to hire like 8 more coaches?
I got that pulled up right now. The coaching hirings. What are the Browns doing? They're making people like do jumping jacks while reading poetry and shit. Like, what are their tests to hire people? 4 people have withdrawn their name to be a coach for them.
It's hilarious. People who haven't even interviewed with them are like, I'm not taking the job in Cleveland right now. That's how much people don't want. I like the fact that coaches are finally sending a message to Cleveland and being like, look, you guys are the problem. It's your organization is the problem.
And it's cool to get a little bit of advancement, a little bit of a raise or whatever, but you go to Cleveland and you know that's not going to look good on your resume.
No. Here's the shitty part. I have a shout out to my buddy Bud because he's a diehard Browns fan. He was telling me the other day, he was like, I am just in such dismay. And I was like, at least your quarterback looks semi-competent. And I don't like Shador for a handful of reasons. But you know what? At least
NFL Pro Bowl quarterback.
quarterback Shedeur Sanders. Let me correct myself. I don't like him for a handful of reasons, but J.J. McCarthy infuriates me for the other handful of reasons. And the defense
do you
in
want me to say something
Cleveland.
that'll get you to matter?
Oh yes.
J.J. McCarthy is 6-4 as a starting quarterback.
I don't care at all. He's one of the worst. He's one of the
wins.
worst.
That's my prime example right there of wins on a
Stats
quarterback
lie.
stat. Dude.
I knew
Thank
that
you
would
for that.
get you riled up a little bit.
No, I appreciate that, Adam. That's my go-to one. I've learned that over the years. I used to get so mad when people talk shit to me.
That's what
ahead.
Kwesi says to himself every night before he goes to bed, so he can go to sleep.
That's how he justifies it all. I used to get so mad when I was younger when people talk shit. I just instantly want to fight them, and they would rage bait me in like 2 seconds. Now, when you can make fun of yourself and you don't give a shit, I've kind of taken that approach with the Vikings of like, you can't. I tell everybody that. They're like, "Oh, you're a Vikings fan." I'm like, "You can't hurt my feelings. This team has shattered my soul, and I will live every season that I watch them. Like, there's nothing you can say." It's weird. Their defense is so good, and this harkens back to like my early fandom of the Vikings. Jim Schwartz is in that building and built that defense brick by brick as the coach. Why don't you just hire him? I don't understand. All you have to do is you can keep the identity of the defense. Maybe he calls the plays, maybe he doesn't. Get a good OC, and then you can actually try to salvage the quarterback room. Because when they signed Deshaun Watson, they set that franchise back 5 years. That was inevitable. The damage is done when the ink hit the paper.
Oh, but just wait till he ends up on our roster.
No, we're not going to do that. That's the one thing I'll say Minnesota won't do. Don't you dare, Kyle. Don't you dare. Ugh. I don't want that creep anywhere near the state of Minnesota.
I don't either.
We're talking about head coaches. We got to talk about what happened there in Pittsburgh, because the hiring of Mike McCarthy makes it to where, unless something really surprising happens, Minnesota is going to get their defensive coordinator back.
Yeah, that's a good point. Got it right here. Since the last time we had a show, Mike McCarthy is the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's a Pittsburgh native. And today, the Buffalo Bills.
What a dumb hire, by the way.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
The
Bills hired Joe Brady.
Adam Schefter says that they wanted to hire someone who could help develop a quarterback and help the offense work, and I don't know if that's the right move. I know that the trend is to go off of one coordinator and flip to the other coordinator when you hire the next one, but I don't see that as being.
Wouldn't you think, Adam? Wouldn't you think it'd make more sense you would hire the guy who developed Josh early and then went and had a head coaching gig? The guy who brought Daniel Jones into Minnesota as the Giants head coach and beat the Vikings? You're like, hey, he's got familiarity and he won with a lesser quarterback and he already has head coaching experience. Like, why wouldn't you just bring Brian Daboll back? I don't understand that one at all. Especially when they had
surprised by me for sure.
I don't know if we talked about this because it's been a minute since the last show. So, Packers defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley is now the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. I don't think that's like a bad or egregious hire. It's not a sexy name, but he's been in a while. He's a good coach. It's probably just not a sexy pick. Robert Saleh is with the Tennessee Titans. They just agreed to terms.
That's hilarious.
Hey, I'm going to put some money down on the Titans. He's a good coach. That defense is going to be good, and they just hired Brian Daboll today. They've agreed to terms for him to be the OC there. So,
all right, I do kind of like that.
Yeah, I just saw it before we got on. Former Vikings head coach Kevin Stefanski is with Atlanta. We talked about that last time. Good fit, good connection with Kirk.
Where did the old Dolphins head coach go? He's an offensive coordinator somewhere now, right?
He is with Los Angeles Chargers and your boy Justin Herbert now. And my brother is super ecstatic about that because they had Greg Roman.
Fun.
Yeah, Greg Roman was their guy in L.A., so he's happy to see him go. I love Mike McDaniel. He's like, it was just a real small clip on Instagram today. He's like, I'm not really an opening statement kind of guy, so my opening statement is, hey, I'm fired up to be here, and whatever questions you have. He's so awkward. Yeah, I'm excited. I want to see what they do. They've got to build a couple more pieces there, but assuming that the Chargers will have both tackles at their respective positions and healthy, and they can get maybe another quick running back or another tight end or wide receiver, they should be all right. They always seem to get hit with the injury bug every year, but hopefully
not. Didn't our defensive coordinator leave and get hired somewhere too?
He did. He is the Baltimore Ravens head coach. He took John Harbaugh's spot in Baltimore, and then John Harbaugh went to the New York Giants. So this feels like some of the biggest shakeups we've had, maybe more openings than ever. I think it was, 10? There are 10 openings. The Raiders still haven't hired a coach. The Browns still haven't hired a coach.
Tom Brady going to coach the Raiders? Is that their plan?
I think he can do whatever he wants there, and they wouldn't say a thing.
I think he's doing fine with his commentary and all that kind of stuff. He's doing great.
He's gotten better as a broadcaster.
Yeah, I like him in the broadcast booth. I think he's starting to bring kind of the good analogies that I like, where he was talking about receivers and squaring up their shoulders and all that kind of stuff. Like, that's the insight that I want to hear from a Tom Brady in the world. Like, tell me what makes a good receiver out there on the field and what you're looking for and how they run a good route. That's the kind of stuff that I like. And that's why I wish Peyton Manning was doing, that kind of work. I'm not a big fan of the Manning cast and all the goofy stuff. Like,
just wait, everyone's going to turn on him just like they did Romo.
Oh, I know. Well, we were talking.
Did you see when Tom Brady explained how to throw the ball in wind and how if it's turned this way just slightly, the ball will go flat and turn straight up? Like, just quarterback wizardry. And I was sitting there like Homer Simpson, just, this is so cool. Like, you never would know. I can't even throw a football correctly. I every time I throw, my bicep always hurts for some weird reason. So I know I'm doing it wrong. And Tom's like, no, in the wind, you just have to turn it this way, grip it like that, and you're like, what?
I love that stuff. I wish these broadcasts would understand that you don't have to dumb it down for fans anymore. We've grown up watching football, playing Madden, looking at all the clips, digesting all of this stuff. Like, you can have a big boy broadcast where you break down the film and people will watch it and want to tune into it and learn something about the game in the process.
Yeah, we talked about that in our chat.
But
earlier.
I want to talk about the former Minnesota Vikings quarterback Sean Mannion, because he went from being the quarterback's coach in Green Bay, and he's getting an interview to be the offensive coordinator in Philly.
We've seen a lot of former Vikings coaches, go on to find success elsewhere. Clint Kubiak.
When he was a backup in Minnesota, he was essentially a coach.
Yeah, and Clint Kubiak is a name that we were all ready to run out of town, and he's turned into a pretty darn good coach now, too.
Yeah, he just didn't quite seem ready.
What was that movie with Dane Cook, Good Luck Chuck? He sleeps with a woman and then they find their husband. Are we the Good Luck Chuck of the NFL? If you come here, you will find your bride at your next organization.
A little bit.
Oh, that sucks. I hate that for us. Davey asks, what do you guys think? Do we cut Kelly in injury settlement and make Blake Brandel next year's starting center? There's two parts to that. Kelly's not playing anymore. I think he's got to retire. If he doesn't, we don't need to put him out there.
Even if he doesn't retire, I don't think you can trust him to come back and play a full season.
I like Blake Brandel, but you always have to try to improve upon that. I think too many times, and especially the history of this team since I've been a fan, they've kind of just tried to keep it in-house or be like, well, this guy's okay, he'll work. Always strive to find the best out there. And I'm not shitting on Blake Brandel. I want him to be on the team, but...
No, I want him in that swing backup position to be able to fill in pretty much anywhere.
Yes,
exactly where I was going with that, Adam. If you can draft a young center that's got a lot of potential and keep him in to rotate, dude, that's the ideal scenario. Get a center in the second round or something. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know that I'm just like, yeah, he'll do. I don't want to. I'm tired of the middle of the road of that shit. The first place we have to be really good at is not even quarterback. It has to be the offensive line.
Meanwhile, Garrett Bradbury's playing in the Super Bowl.
We get him so much shit on this show. Go fly, young king.
Didn't the Vikings make a change at offensive line coach?
Yeah, they fired the offensive line coach.
Well, they didn't fire him. They just didn't renew his contract.
They didn't fire him, but they also don't want him back. So,
Yes.
He got to play out his contract, but just didn't get to come back.
I can appreciate that. And that says a lot. It's weird how the coaching stuff is so key because they have good pieces on the line. I think right now they have 3 out of the 5 positions kind of solidified. And if Will Fry stays, I would argue there'd be 4 out of 5. You just need to find an upgraded center if you can. But, yeah, coaching's got to be better. To have those pieces, cool. I will give this season, now that the dust is settled and I'm less mad, is I will give this season a pass because of the injuries. Because when did they finally get the starting five that they wanted? Like week 15?
It was
Something.
late.
It was really bad. So, yeah, just having to do patchwork all year.
But
that
that
could
does
go
mean
against.
there's a lot of work to do this offseason.
Yeah. The biggest news, we talked about it already a little bit, but the biggest news we have, as long as he doesn't go to Las Vegas or to Cleveland, we made Brian Flores, I think, the highest paid defensive coordinator in the league. That's fantastic news. I thought he was gone for sure. I would have put my money down last week that he was going to be gone somewhere else. So having him back is a major promising point for next season. I really,
We got
really
to do
happy
that in
about
little
that.
teases too, which was kind of fun, because he signed that extension with Minnesota, but could still leave to become a head coach somewhere else. And it was like, okay, so at least his lateral defensive coordinator jobs that he was getting calls for, at least those aren't going to happen.
That's very true. That's almost as bad as the good luck Chuck thing. Not even going to be the next head coach. Like, I'm just going to make this defense better while yours sucks next year. All right, let's talk about these games from this weekend. Two epic games. One was low scoring. The weather had a lot to do with it. But anytime that Sean Payton loses, the world wins because
I'm
fuck
happy.
that guy. I love that New England's quarterback only had 86 passing yards and still won this game. Shout out Drake May. Love you. Charlotte native. Yeah, the Patriots went into Denver, something that Tom Brady never did in the postseason, and they won the AFC Championship game 10-7. The snow came hurling in at halftime, and it was a different game. Ultimately, if I remember this game correctly, because I've kind of already brain dumped it because I was so focused on the Seattle game, not going for it versus taking the points, like which one? What's his name? He works, Mark Schlereth. He played for the Broncos. He calls them. He's been doo-dooing all over the analytics guys the last 2 weeks saying, and I understand it sounds cool when you say it this way, but it's kind of a tough guy, douchey thing to say. He goes, analytics never made a block. Analytics never had to tackle something. He's like, I hate these nerds that come in and tell me, well, the computer says you should go for it. He's like, no. Have you ever played? Take the fucking points.
Yeah,
You're in the championship game. Take the points.
If you can make it a 1 point game, you're guaranteeing even if they score a touchdown, it's still a one possession game. I don't get that at all.
You saw it in the Seattle game too. Like Sean McVay was very aggressive, and they only lost by 4 points. Who knows how that swings momentum? But I don't like the narrative with the Patriots that they had an easy schedule at all. I don't care anything about that. We've said that 100 times on the show. You can't call Roger Goodell and be like, sir, the internet's making fun of us for our easy schedule. Can you make us have harder opponents? That's not how it works.
Well, you might be able to. We don't know.
And didn't they beat like 3 of the top 5 defensives in the playoffs?
They just won 3 road playoff games against the top 3 out of the 5 defenses in the NFL. You can't say that. When the games mattered most, they went on the road and won them. They weren't on. They were number 2. Who do they have? They went on the road for this game. I'm sorry, I said that incorrectly. But you are right, Adam. 3 out of the top 5 defenses, and the last one on the road in shitty conditions, and they found a way to win. And somebody was saying in the comments, I think it was TikTok, like, Drake May only had 86 yards. Oh, you don't understand football? Do I need to explain it to you? Like, what do you mean? It's snowing outside, and they're in Denver.
Had that on one pass, so.
It's true. Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like, well, they got gifted with a backup quarterback. They don't control any of that. What do you mean? How is that the Patriots'
They got like
fault?
voodoo dolls at the headquarters or something.
I wouldn't put it past that building. They've had every kind of deflate gate scandal, whatever else. Who knows, man? They're doing some witchcraft in New England.
But you got Stephon Diggs, you got Tonga, you got all these people out there that are, in the Super Bowl, and I have to look forward to the Super Bowl because I am not looking forward to the Pro Bowl.
I'll be working. I'm not watching that shit. I'm with you, Adam. I love that they've changed it over the years and listened somewhat to the fans, where they had like the skills competitions and the fun stuff. But I don't know. It still needs a revamp. You guys think they still need to do something a little different and better? Make it more fun?
I don't know if it's just because I'm old now, but I don't care what they do with it at this point. I would be really curious if anyone out there has kids. If you have a 12-year-old kid, do they care about the Pro Bowl? Do they think it's fun? Like, are they invested in it?
They took the serious game out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember back when I was that age, teenager, Pro Bowl was fun. I used to look forward to the Pro Bowl, and I don't know if it's because I was a teenager that it was
But I also
entertaining.
used to look forward to the NBA All-Star game, and now those games are like 180 to 170 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no defense allowed. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for this matchup. I appreciate and respect Mike Vrabel as a coach so much. He has the chance to be the first player to win a Super Bowl and as a player and as a coach for the same team, I believe, which is really
That'd be cool.
quite cool. Drake May's only in year 2. He should be in the MVP finalist voting. He had a phenomenal year.
Another quarterback the Vikings tried to get. They couldn't
pounded
offer
the-
enough to move up.
Pounded the table for that kid. We saw it in Carolina. Got a nice big frame, really down to earth guy, really just a good person too. Happy for him. That'll be the part of me that's happy if the Patriots win. Not for that whole entire part of the country. You've had
I
6
gotta
Super
be honest,
Bowls.
the only reason I'm kind of leaning towards rooting for the Patriots is because I want Tonga to do well. Big old
Yeah.
Tonga.
And Garrett Bradbury too, man. It's funny every time I turn it on and see him like, oh, yeah, look
You
at
see
what
like
he's
New
doing.
England subs Tonga in on offense now to be like a blocker and pusher and all that?
That's amazing. No, I didn't see that. That's fun. I was driving when that game was going on. I didn't get to like super pay attention. I get to listen, but that's cool. I didn't know that. And you mentioned as well Diggs in there too. So yeah, I'm excited. If they won, I wouldn't be upset. There's reasons to like them too. It's a young team. They definitely overachieved this year. I'll say that. Not even throwing shade at them, just calling a spade. But
Well, they went from what, 4 wins to 13 or something like that?
yeah. They took advantage, won a bunch of games, and I think they've been coached really well. And I
That's
love
what
that.
happens when you get that late, that low 4th place finish in your division, and the rotation is nice, and you can play a little bit easier schedule than some of the other teams. And I know that that's not an excuse. You can only play who's put in front of you, but I mean, they took advantage of that and are riding it to the Super Bowl, so good on them.
I always forget too that Josh McDaniels is still there as the OC. So Drake May definitely got taken care of in the coaching department. Good luck for him. That Seattle and Rams game, a bunch of people were saying that was the Super Bowl. Such an exciting game. Sam Darnold absolutely balled the fuck out in this game. 127.6 rating, 81.5 QBR, 3 touchdowns, no
Is
picks.
Matt Stafford the MVP?
Yes.
West, what do you think?
Sure.
Oh, I read
give it-
off his stuff. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kyle.
I would give it to Patrick Mahomes just because it's been too long since we've talked about him. Yeah. We really need to give this to Mahomes.
That's the best thing I've ever heard.
Can we
Oh, he's got
potentially
comeback player of the next year no matter what.
Oh,
100,
yeah.
100 or Travis Kelce. They can split that title actually. They can both get it. They can share it.
Oh.
Yeah, this game had everything you wanted. Started out 10-3. LA had kind of slow to get back. Then it's in the finals 31-27. I felt like this game was much closer than that. And I know it's only 4 points, but man, it comes down to the wire with these teams. If you remember back in the year, so Seattle was 14-3 this season, number 1 seed. One of their losses came to the Rams when Sam had 4 turnovers, and you thought, man, there it is. There's the Sam Darnold we know. And then fast forward to the end of the season, it's like we got to beat the Rams to get the 1 seed. They do it. Sam doesn't have to do super crazy stuff in that game. People are still doubting. They come out and handle the 49ers, and then to come out and handle them. Sam Darnold is playing in the Super Bowl a year after being in Minnesota's building. And I know the national media has said this 100 times this week, but this is the draft class with Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, and Lamar Jackson, and he's the first one of those 4 to go to the Super Bowl. Just crazy.
I know you can't predict
Crazy.
it. Who would have predicted it?
I'm rooting for this kid
But
so,
you know something that I don't
so
think
hard.
is good enough is Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker's there in Seattle, and he was having that handcuff situation with Zach Charbonnet, and now he goes down with an injury, and Walker comes out and has a 3 touchdown game and plays his heart out in the conference finals. he's in the final year of his contract there in Seattle. He's going to get a massive payday somewhere.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. Yeah, Charbonnet goes down. He's not going to be a part of the Super Bowl. He wasn't there this weekend. So you get time to shine. And that gave me concern for the Seahawks. But
Good old K9.
being done, this game being done in Seattle, that crowd is something crazy. I can't wait to go see a game there. I have to pick a year when I know they're going to be dog shit because I'm not going to go watch them beat the Vikings. But I always hear about how crazy the crowd is there. And I actually read off Stafford's stats, and they are almost identical to Sam Darnold. So
They both had like over 300 passing yards, right?
I believe so.
Stafford with 374. Sam had 346. Both had 3 touchdowns, no picks. Sam did get sacked a couple more times, but the QBRs are very close. Stafford 81.5, Darnold 82.9, rating 127.6, 127.8. So you can't tell me Sam's not playing awesome because I think Matt Stafford's the MVP. He's going to win that this year, and they have identical stats, especially
How
in
do you
this
think Cooper Kupp felt about making some of those big catches against his former team? That had to feel weird.
So cool. I forget he's on the team, and then when he makes a catch, I love it. Hear it, Coop, through the whole stadium. So badass.
You can tell he's in decline. He's at the end of his career, but he can still go out there and make a play for you. He can still make
And
those.
you know, I thought the same thing about Devontae Adams, but he looks nowhere near washed.
Devontae Adams is just still good.
Very good.
Yeah.
So you had that in divisional round weekend, regardless of what happened and what got them there. Josh Allen was very emotional and crying at the podium, and then to see that with Devontae Adams this weekend. This was his 5th NFC Championship game, and he still can't make it to the Super Bowl, and he was crying. And you feel bad for these players, man. This means everything to them, and they know they have a limited window. I think we all would agree, Devontae Adams is on the back half of his career, so you hope they can come back. I think Stafford's got to come back next year. He played the best season of his career this year, so
Didn't he already say he's coming back?
I don't know. I haven't heard.
I want to say he did.
Yeah, they'd be pretty fucked without him. I mean, I think any quarterback that Sean McVay picks to work will work out there. And if they would have went to the Super Bowl, Jimmy Garoppolo would have been the backup had something happened. And I totally think he could revive Jimmy Garoppolo and whatever's left of him if he needed to for a couple of quarters.
He'll be in Minnesota next.
Hey, there you go. There's an option for us, Jimmy Garoppolo.
What do you think about all this Jordan Addison trade for Mac Jones talk that's going around lately?
I'm good with it.
I don't think
I have nothing for that kid. I'm sorry.
I
I'm
don't
doing the
think
Bill Belichick thing where I cut him off a little too early rather than hang on too late for him to fuck up again, but I don't care.
I don't think it's going to happen. It's a fun conversation to have. I think there's more merit to just trading him to the 49ers. I don't know if it would be a player-for-player trade. I still kind of think they want to keep on to Mac Jones. Brock Purdy, he's a good quarterback. They paid him a decent amount of money. There's still some injury history with him, though, that pops up every now and then. He might miss a couple games, and Mac Jones is a guy who you can step in and win with, and you still got him for another year. So I really don't know why you're in a rush to move on from him.
I don't think it's them being in a rush to move on from him. It's Minnesota being desperate to do something, to have somebody in there.
Such a great point.
Yeah, that's very true, Adam.
I don't think these coaches necessarily do deals with each other because they want to help the other guy, whatever. But if you are cool with people, maybe it helps. I feel like Kevin O'Connell's cool with Kyle Shanahan and could maybe talk to them at least to have open conversations. But that's not the one I want to talk about. If Mac Jones is a Viking, I'll be so happy that we just have an adult in the room because J.J. McCarthy is still very much a young kid, and I need him to have a lot of growth this offseason. Kyle and I've talked extensively about that in our side chat, but I don't know.
What happens when Mac Jones gets here and we find out, oh yeah, he's actually not good long term either.
And you can go into next year's quarterback class and try again because next year's quarterback draft class should be at least better than the one that might be good this year, and then a lot of guesswork. You'll have more options, but I want to smash the table with this. Don't believe shit that's on the internet if people are leaking it now. The Vikings would not be revealing their hand right now and putting it out there. Stupid fucking accounts with people that are actually tied to the Vikings, which is crazy to me, are putting out these fan theories that they're going to trade for Joe Burrow and they're going to offer up 2 firsts, a second, Jonathan Grenard, and J.J. McCarthy. Don't believe this shit. And if you're the guy putting this out there, fuck you. Stop doing that.
I agree with you because, look, if there is any kind of truth at all to the Vikings being interested in Joe Burrow, none of this is going to leak to the media, particularly this time of year. Like, these would be, I would hope so, and I do believe that would be very closed-door conversations between 1 or 2 people tops that would be having this
you're getting fan expectations super high.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not going to be good when Minnesota ends up bringing in a B plus B quarterback to be the backup competition for McCarthy. And we've already had Bengals running back Chase Brown say he's not going anywhere.
I don't think Joe is going to do that. I know that he's not happy with the situation based on his multiple comments over the years. Like, hey, it's nice that you got T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, but the line sucks and the facilities are notoriously bad. The owners are notoriously cheap.
That defense is woof.
The defense sucks. That's a great point. And not to mention, like, Zach Taylor, the Bills fired Sean McDermott and the Bengals kept Zach Taylor. I'm like, what? Oh, and what upside down Stranger Things world are we living in? But yeah, I'd love to have Joe Burrow here. If you can keep him upright, I said this on the show.
Boy, that's an understatement.
If you can keep him upright and protected, I'll put him up against anyone in the league right now, including Mahomes. I've never seen a guy who throws a prettier ball. Going back to like my Sam Bradford love, I've always said he throws the prettiest ball I've ever seen. Joe Burrow's right there, and he can. Like, I watched him in whatever game it was. I think it was against the Bills. In 2 plays, he had them from their end zone to the other side in the red zone for the other team, and 2 beautiful throws. And I'm like, that's the only one in the NFL right now that can do that.
I love on these fan theories that we have seen J.J. McCarthy play some of the worst starting football I've ever seen a quarterback play in the NFL. I love the way there are fan theories that are like, yeah, we're going to trade J.J. McCarthy and some other picks, and we're going to get Joe Burrow. Like, what other general manager is looking at the way J.J. McCarthy played last offseason and to be like, yeah, boy, I'm gonna trade my generational quarterback in Joe Burrow, multiple Pro Bowls Joe Burrow, for J.J. McCarthy? Like, come on, guys.
All right, I want to take a second to talk about sports media because it has been a rough week for sports media. Stephen A. Smith and some of these other guys have just said ridiculous things. But I want to talk about Mina Kimes because she said something ridiculous that didn't turn out to be true at all. And she owns it. She said, I was surprised. She said that the Seahawks did the stupidest thing when they moved on from Geno Smith and that they wouldn't get that kind of quarterback play out of anybody else. And she was wrong, and she admitted it, and I think that's great.
I love Mina. She'll own up to her stuff so quickly. There's an episode recently where she was on the Dan Le Batard show, and they have – it's not Dan Hansis, is it? It's one of the guys that was on one of those really big NFL podcasts. Might be Dan Hansis. He's on the Dan Le Batard show now. It works great there. But he just kept like trying to rage bait her, and it's obviously a bit, talking about quarterback play and stuff like that, like the wins and how they matter. Like talking about the premise about being in the Hall of Fame and like the wins matter, blah, blah, blah. And she just looked straight at him. She's like, I'm not playing this stupid game. I know this whole show is stupid and this is what y'all do, but I'm not doing that. And I respect her for that. I totally believe Mina Kimes would.
Cam Newton too saying that Notre Dame is irrelevant?
No.
I'll be honest. I quit paying attention to Cam Newton because he's just clickbait.
He is insufferable sometimes.
He's just
sports media right now. And ESPN and all that is at the worst I think it's ever been.
Yeah.
There was a post. I want to see if I can find it. I meant to share it with you guys. I forgot to. Where it was about the state of sports journalism right now, and the way it described it was. It's no longer two informed people having a discussion about a topic. It's Kyle Smith, I need you to have the stupidest take, and I need to have the stupidest take. We can be wrong. We can be 100% wrong, but we just need to do it so that we can have a 30-second clip to go on Twitter or X or Facebook so that people can comment on it and share it and
Yep,
be
you
like,
gotta take the opposite extreme angles and just
"Yep, look
argue it.
look how stupid this take is," and then tomorrow, look how stupid this take is.
But yeah, Cam Newton saying that Notre Dame is irrelevant these days is wild.
Yeah.
Cam Newton's becoming more irrelevant by the year, and he just has to do whatever to stay on there. I've never seen a more insufferable, douchey quarterback than him.
I loved Cam Newton when he was playing.
When he was
one of my,
playing, he was
one of my
electric.
He was fun
favorite
to
players. I loved Cam Newton.
But now it's just like, hey, I cannot get over somebody saying, I can't believe I went back to Carolina and they don't have my picture up on the wall. Brother, you won a fucking MVP, and the trophy said, the whole league said you were the best player this year. Cry me a fucking river that your mural's not up in Carolina.
Can't
Was
you
that
just?
him that said he wouldn't trade his MVP for a Super Bowl ring?
He said,
Yeah,
and this is why I'll hate him forever,
can't
and I
be-
hope
that
I'm so
can't be
glad.
true.
He absolutely said it. It's out there. He said,
Well, I
would
know it,
trade-
but I mean, he
my
can't
M-
actually believe that.
Oh yeah. No, I think he does. I think he's more obsessed with himself than the team winning it all. And I'm like, brother, you're when you win a Super Bowl, you're untouchable in history forever. It's like it's not going to get you in the Hall of Fame guaranteed, but with your career and how up and down it was, you certainly had a push there if you had won that game. And no, I'd rather have my individual accomplishment than my whole team that I fought with that whole year win. Like
Right.
nobody would ever say that on any other team. Like I was baffled when he said that. But yeah, you're right. I wonder if he actually believes that.
Like, do you actually believe that, or is that just a thing that you're saying to try to go viral on social media? Like, I
Then you
don't
got
know.
the absolutely fake posts on social media that are just there for engagement, and
Yeah.
so many people believe those to be true. They're sharing them and being like, "Oh, look at all this great stuff." Yeah, that's not real.
It's sad because the algorithm knows that I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan, and so it shows me all of those pages with all of
Oh,
that
yeah.
fake shit. And
Yeah.
there are even times that it's like you see a quote, you're just scrolling. I fall victim to it too. We've all shared stuff where it's like, oh,
Oh, you
is that
gotta
a real
stop and look.
is that a real quote from Brian Flores? And then I share it with you guys, and you're like, no, it's not. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Hey, you know what?
You don't know.
We all three joke and give each other shit in the chat all the time. Like Kyle West is notorious for not scrolling up and reading what me and Adam send.
Don't do that.
But I have been
I
gotten
do.
probably more. I know I'm fucking with you. I have been gotten probably more than I will ever honestly admit with clicking on stuff and immediately having a reaction and then realizing somebody is just really good at editing a photo and putting text over the top. It's total bullshit because
Yeah.
if you really have a quote from somebody, you'll be like Brian Flores via the blah 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 podcast or ESPN on this show. It's like, yeah, of course you don't have a source because it's not fucking real. Like, I hate that so much, man.
And now you can click on the page, and the page will be like, oh, this is coming from Zimbabwe. Like, that's where this post is coming from. Like, oh, well, hey, probably
you know,
not.
the big
probably not a
Viking
real.
fan base in Zimbabwe. Yeah.
I don't know. There might be, but probably not.
Andrew got again with the easy frog. So you know what's fun, Andrew? One of my favorite pictures I have, and it's in storage because I haven't hung up any Viking stuff here. I might do that in the summer. I might put all my Viking shit in the garage in my gym. I was at the game. So post Super Bowl 50, the next season, the Sam Bradford 8-8 year where the Vikings started out 5-0. Such a Vikings thing to do. I go to the Carolina game in like week 3, and I'm nervous because I'm like, damn, this is MVP Cam. Like they're gonna toss the ball over the field. They sacked Cam Newton 9 times, and it was Daniil Hunter and Everson Griffin just having a day. And I lost my voice that game because I was in the very last row of seats, at the very top of the back of the stadium. For like $8, you get tickets. And I'm just zooming in on my iPhone. I'm like, that's number 7. I remember that day. It was pretty cool. +6 or there we go. +6 with a quotation. Shows up as a frog. Sanitizing this for hot tubs. Here, let me try this. Now I'm going to try that. It's not going to work and I look dumb.
Which wouldn't be the first time.
I'm not doing it. Nope. Andrew's going to get me. It works for you, though. That's kind of cool.
I just wrote easy.
Oh, it is a frog.
Frogs all over the place.
Yep. See? Look at that. Doesn't work for me. Cool. I'm the boomer of the chat now. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Not a lot to talk about there. We went over the coaching hires. The Vikings have a couple of spots they're going to fill in. Didn't the defensive backs coach get hired for somewhere else too? That's the last piece of news we should probably.
Oh,
He has
yeah,
defensive passing game coordinator.
Yeah,
Was it Deontay Jones, right?
yeah, that sounds about right.
Durante
Where'd he
Jones.
The Jets?
Let's see.
Was it the
Commanders
Jets?
are hiring the
Commanders.
Vikings defensive backs coach and passing game coordinator Durante Jones. Good for him. We're going to hear that name, a name in the future that's going to go somewhere else too if he really wants to. Keenan McCardell, the wide receivers coach.
Didn't
might get
Brian
involved.
Flores interview for that Commander's defensive coordinator position before he signed back with Minnesota?
I believe so. Yes.
So for one of Flores's assistants to get that job is pretty cool.
Yeah, maybe he gave him a really good recommendation. I would actually believe that.
I don't know. Not everybody seems to be the biggest Brian Flores fan that comes out of Minnesota.
You don't say.
Don't care about what Mike Pettin thinks. Didn't even remember he was on the staff.
Yeah, we could end with that. The Mike Pettin not getting along with Brian Flores. Didn't know that tea was going to come out. Pretty funny.
Sometimes you can just not say things, guys.
And my favorite is Kellen Mond in the last week.
Oh, God.
Talking about Mike Zimmer. Mike Zimmer stays catching strays from this organization. And, I was such a defender of him. I'm like, dude, he lost his wife. He almost lost his eyeball. He's just an old curmudgeon. His son died. Leave him alone. He's just an old curmudgeon. No, it turns out he was kind of a dick. He was just all around. I'd have to paraphrase, but basically Kellen Mond was saying when they drafted him, he walked out of the room. He was so angry. And
that's a well-documented story, too.
I love that.
So fucking crazy. And then basically just never had a relationship or a conversation with his backup quarterback, which is
I can picture Mike
insane.
Zimmer. I can picture that scenario of Mike Zimmer and Rick Spielman being in the draft room together, and Zim getting so pissed that he throws a notebook on the floor and being like, "Fuck this," and walks out the door when they drafted Kellen Mond, and then just not speaking to him all year.
You got to put the context into it too, Kyle. This is where my mind goes. So he's a third-round pick out of Texas A&M, right? So I'm immediately going to anyone who's not a first-round quarterback who had success. Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott, Tom Brady. I remember Chris Sims was all gushing about. He's like, "This is a low-key, a great pick from the Vikings." And I'm like, he looked like shit when he played. And you're like, damn, he kind of sucks. And you're like, well, yeah, because they probably just threw the playbook at him and was like, learn this. Bam. And don't talk to us. Not going to explain anything in the room. Oh, my God.
Why I keep laughing and why it's so funny is that Mike Zimmer wasn't wrong. The way he handled it was entirely wrong, but he wasn't wrong about the draft pick. So, I understand where he came from.
Yeah, maybe be a little more professional than that, but yeah, he was not short of giving us entertainment. Him and Kirk Cousins grabbing each other and screaming angrily in each other's faces.
I remember being on the show being like, oh, they were just two guys who were fired up and caught up in the moment. No, they were going to fight one another.
No, they
Mike Zimmer was going to fight him. That's what was going to happen.
It's funny because, Zimmer's just sitting at home with his family, and all this stuff's coming out, and he's probably just sitting there like, what? I'm out of this.
That's the crazy part is, he cares about his family a lot. He follows his daughter on Instagram. He's got grandkids. So cool. They got me fired. Yeah. None of the blame going towards yourself. Just everything else. That's rough. That was a rough divorce. I see why they hired Kevin O'Connell after him.
What's amazing though is you have players who will just absolutely die by their love for Mike Zimmer.
Anthony Barr and Eric Kendricks, absolutely.
Terrence Newman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he loved his defenders.
Captain Munnerlyn, after the first year he was there.
Yeah.
I just freelanced the first year.
That's so good.
That's the best thing I've ever heard. It's like, hey, fuck this Super Bowl winning cornerbacks coach that's now my head coach. Even though I'm a corner, I'm just gonna go be a free agent out here on the field, be a mercenary.
Fuck the guy who invented the double A gap blitz. Fuck the guy who invented like a base defense that teams run now. Like, I don't know. I still, you know what? This shit low key makes me like Mike Zimmer even more, and I want him to fire back against everyone. Like, can we get
put a
him?
microphone in front of him. I bet you he would.
Let him talk. You think CM Punk can drop a pipe bomb at him? Like, I want Mike Zimmer to just go unfiltered.
While we ask,
Just that on Saturday, we're getting former Minnesota Viking Roman Reigns getting in the Royal Rumble from Saudi Arabia.
Nice.
And who knows, maybe Brock Lesnar too. You never know.
I'm typing up the Viking age for you, Adam. Makes me laugh. We should just reach out to Mike Zimmer and be like, hey, you want to come on the pod? I wouldn't know what to say. I'd be too fan about it to be like, so tell me about the game against the Saints in 2019.
But you know, if we reached out and actually said, hey, this is our 633rd episode, they're going to be like, wow, really?
Don't watch, how? Don't watch any of the episodes before this, but yes. Oh, that about does it. Super Bowl 60 is set. Patriots, Seahawks. I will be working there again. I'm leaving Friday. I'm so pumped to have an opportunity to do that. I'll give you guys updates if we meet any of the players or celebs again. Just hoping for a good game, good cold weather. It's going to be freezing. I know that. It's cold as shit
and
in
California.
California.
You're hoping for an award show this week, you're also not getting it this week. You did it last week. Not getting it this week. Probably not next week. We'll see.
I'll put it in the notes, guys. That the next time we get on, we'll do an award show. Jesus. We're so bad about that.
We got some downtime between now and the Super Bowl, so.
Man, that's so funny. I completely forgot about it.
We said it a couple weeks ago and still are not doing it, but that's okay. We're not in any hurry.
That's because there's no offensive players that you can give an award to this year.
Yeah, this is a season to forget, guys. We don't want to recap it just yet. You know what you can do, though? You can go to thevikingage.com and you can support our own Adam Carlson. Click on the articles that he writes, puts money in his account. The more clicks he gets, the more money he makes. Help him out. He does great work over there. Really appreciate all of his stuff. And listen to us, because Adam's, I believe Kyle and I are bold enough to say this. Adam's probably a little more in tune with the Vikings than we are. And he comes on the show and listens to us talk all our bullshit for an hour.
Oh, I think it's fun.
I'm going to give an award this year called, well, you tried your best.
I know exactly who it goes to. Who's number 17 that kept fucking up the punt returns?
Well, you tried.
Taylor Thomas.
Oh, that's it. You're getting an award, buddy. It's not going to be the award that you want.
And why do I remember his name?
That's the quality that you get from this show, Adam. If you listen to this program, you'll get all kinds of stuff. Don't we drop like a random TJ Clemmings every week or somebody like that? We'll throw it back every week with somebody you forgot about.
Zach Line.
We were talking about Michael Jenkins last week. I don't know why we do that, but you'll get it only on this show.
Yeah, you can check me out at MNVikingZombie on social media, wherever you're at. I have been posting more pictures of me and my cat lately, and I don't know why. I gotta stop. A lot.
I liked one of those. Those are fun.
Got a little out of hand with too much cat.
I gotta give my dog a bath after this. You guys want to stay on 5 more minutes? I don't want to do this shit.
Hey, if your pup's not there asking you to get off the podcast, then we're doing pretty good.
He's not here. He's with my brother. They're gonna watch him while I'm gone. So it's been very lonely and quiet without him coming up every hour to bug me about something.
Oh, I bet.
I got this little Tasmanian devil in the cage over here, but you can't let him out because he's insane.
So with the snow, do your pups still going out?
So I'm lucky. Where I'm sitting is my office here, which I always got to brag on this. I did all this shit by myself for my little studio. Went live last night on the old Facebook and played some songs. And right behind this computer is directly to my backyard, but they've never seen it before. I'm telling you, it's 1.5 inches to 2 inches thick of ice. And then the sun came out and sort of melted it, so it's slick now. So
boy.
he's like running because he's excited, but he's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, I can't stop. And it's fun because like in the mornings I have to calm him down and be like, listen, we're about to leave on a very important trip. Don't tear your ACL. Just go poop and pee, please. So
And you got a dog too, Mr. West, right?
Yep.
Does your dog disappear when he goes out in the Iowa snow?
Well, since it's Iowa, I mean, he's been out in the snow since he's a puppy, so it don't really bother him too much. Actually, he seems to like to go outside and just lay in the snowbank occasionally. I think it gets too hot sometimes in the house for him when you turn the heat up when it's 20 below outside.
Oh, yeah.
So he'll just be like, "Can I go outside?" And you'll let him out, and you'll check up on him 5 minutes later. Be like, "What are you doing out there?" Just laying in a snowbank, just looking back up at the door, like, "I'm fine. Just let me
pets
hang
are
out."
so good.
Yeah.
Kyle's got such a cool dog. That dog doesn't give a shit about anything.
But that's all I got for this week. You guys got anything else you want to talk about?
I think that's it. I'll report to it, and if I get any cool photos, maybe I'll post them to the Facebook page. But yeah, I'll let you guys know what Super Bowl week's looking like.
All right,
Hey,
just
before-
a reminder that we do stream live on Facebook, YouTube, my Twitch channel, and Kick. So if you're any of those places, you can catch us live. If you don't catch us live, head on over to YouTube after the show. It should be available. Otherwise, you got to wait for me to upload it to wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Cool. Maybe.
And I want to thank, as always, everyone who joined us in chat. We love having you guys here. And we'll be back next week to talk about the Pro Bowl? Question mark?
We'll definitely do an award show next time.
And in the meantime, stay classy, men.